For over 40 years, the Philippine island of Mindanao has been plagued by one of the most violent conflicts in Southeast Asia. During that time, Muslim insurgent groups have been seeking independence from the largely Christian country. Over 120,000 persons are being killed in the fighting between government forces and the insurgent groups, as well as through terrorism and brutal clan conflicts. Since 2005, the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue has been in the capital Manila and in the field to help end the violence. Staff members supported official negotiations between the leaderships and frontline communities. For the past 5 years, the center has been a member of the mediation team, which helped the Philippine government and the largest insurgent group, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, to finally reach an agreement.
Well, today's a very big day because today is the day of the signing, and much work has gone into finally making this day happen. What's going to happen is we're going to sign the framework agreement. This will be the agreement between the MILF and the government, which in fact lays out a roadmap for a implementation of various steps that will hopefully lead to a final agreement and an end to the conflict as we know it. We helped put together a group of international states, including Britain, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Japan, and international NGOs, the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue, and 3 others, put together this group that works with the Malaysian government, which facilitates the talks, and the 2 parties in the peace process. So what we do, the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue, is we coordinate that group and we sit in all the talks. We provide advice to the 2 parties. We travel back and forth between the 2 parties. So when they're negotiating a difficult issue, let's say like guns, we will provide advice to the 2 parties on ways that they might be able to find a common solution on that. We've been intensely involved since 2009, and so really the last year and a half has been particularly intense as we've now worked up to this current agreement. But what we're hoping this agreement does is that it finally sets Mindanao, the southern region of the Philippines, where all this conflict takes place, we hope it sets them on a path towards peace and development. Write it out. Right, because it's like 10:50. The other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, President of the Republic of the Philippines, and His Excellency Honorable Dr. Sri Mohammed Najib. Let us welcome the Chief of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, Chairman Al-Haj Murad.
Today, I am here not as a tourist, nor as a politician, but as the humble chairman of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front to witness an historic agreement. Today, it humbles me to say before you that we have, after almost 16 years of hard negotiations and confrontations on the ground, we have inked the most important document in the chapter of our history, a landmark document that restores to our people their Bangsamoro identity and their homeland. Today we are here to celebrate a victory for the Bangsamoro people and the Filipino nation that is shared by the international community and the Muslim world. A victory earned not by war, but by that collective desire tempered by the inner nobility of human nature to restore justice and peace to a troubled land.
honored to present the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Benigno Simeon.
I myself lost my father to an oppressive system. I myself thirsted for justice and was deprived of it, then by the dictatorship. I empathize with our Bangsamoro brothers and sisters and can only vow to work as hard as I can to see that the culture of impunity is dismantled and that the foundations of righteousness and cooperation are laid. Today we sign a framework agreement that can finally see genuine lasting peace in the ground, in full view of the Filipino people and witnessed even by our friends from different parts of the world. We commit to peace.
Hindi na umalis. Kasi pala hindi na umalis.
We have officially
The historic agreement reached between the fighting parties in October 2012 goes a long way in finally bringing an end to conflict and human suffering in the Philippines.